welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Health. I hope that everybody here is doing well and that you're all having a wonderful week and happy Friday. So today is going to be my last live stream of 2021. So I'll be taking a break for the next 2 Fridays and then I'll join back in January. So I'm excited to have this kind of last talk with all of you. If you have any other questions you want to ask me, not related to today's topic, feel free to ask me anything. And we'll kind of go from there and see if you have any other questions, and then we'll start back in the new year. So today's chat, we're going to be talking about breakfast, and this is kind of a thing I see a lot is some people eating breakfast, some people not eating breakfast. So I kind of wanted to just talk about it and see, do you think it's, ask you, do you think breakfast is important? Do you eat breakfast? And then I'm going to kind of give my opinion and 2 cents in this and let you know if breakfast is important and then what type of breakfast you should eat. Okay. So I kind of just want to take a little bit of a, I guess a poll. If you're okay to answer in the chat, just let me know. Do you eat breakfast? Do you eat breakfast daily? And then let's see what people say, and I'll ask it again later on. And when we have some more newcomers, and they can let me know too. So question for you, do you eat breakfast? So I'll let you know, I do eat breakfast. I find that it just helps me feel full. It helps me get myself through the day, and I really like breakfast. I eat it every day pretty much. Some days different times depending on my schedule, but I do eat breakfast every day. So breakfast is important to eat, and should you eat breakfast? Of course, like we've talked about on this channel, everything in regards to health should be individualized. So it's always important to talk with your doctor, your healthcare provider. But I would say, yes, it is important. You should eat breakfast. You shouldn't, go all morning without eating and then eat later on. So we'll kind of talk about why it is important to eat breakfast. Okay, so yes, in the chat, so I don't always eat breakfast every day. Okay, so some days maybe you eat it, some days you don't. And again, it can depend on your schedule. But the reason why eating breakfast is so important is because that there's many different benefits. So one thing is that it helps to provide you energy. It provides your body, your brain with energy, like with nutrition, with glucose, with protein, with everything that you're eating. It provides you energy for the whole day ahead. So that's very important. If you skip breakfast, you might notice that you're not as energetic as you should be. You're feeling a little bit tired or fatigued. That could be a reason. Another reason for eating breakfast that's important is that it prevents overeating later in the day. So a lot of times if you skip your breakfast, then it comes around to being lunchtime and you might be really, really hungry. So then you might, just grab something quick in the fridge, and then you might overeat because you're very hungry. And then even eating later in the day. And I've seen this with myself if I've not had breakfast. I've seen this in practice with people, and then also in certain studies, it shows like if you don't have a good filling breakfast in the morning, that you're more likely to overeat and snack later at night. And then that can lead to things like weight gain. It can lead to other issues if you're having a lot of sugary foods or a lot of salty snacks late at night. So that's another thing that breakfast is very important for. It's helping to maintain a healthy and optimal weight. So that's a really good tip if you're finding that you're overeating a lot late in the day or snacking. It would be good to have a breakfast in the morning. Another thing that it can help is if you have any sort of like gut issue, and I know I talk about gut issues on here a lot. So let's say you have some sort of IBS, or if you had acid reflux, if you wait too long to eat, then that can actually make things worse for your gut, because you start getting hungry, things kind of start happening, and you might then start feeling a little bit like your symptoms coming on. So it's actually important for gut health to eat in the morning. And again, like it provides energy, provides nutrition, and just supports your overall body. So overall, I would say having breakfast is important. If you don't have an appetite in the morning, that actually might be a sign that your body is like stressed out and your stress hormones are too high. So you're not hungry in the morning. You're like ready for fight or flight kind of mode. So you should, be able to wake up and then get into that routine of wanting to have a breakfast and you having a good appetite. Okay, so let's see what some other people are saying. Yes, I always eat breakfast. I like oatmeal or eggs. Great. I find that that's kind of what I eat too. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Should you eat a big, heavy breakfast? I think that depends. That depends on yourself. I'd say eating something is important, and I'll kind of talk about this now. So if you're going to eat something, you want to aim for a high protein breakfast. Your breakfast should contain a good amount of protein in it. So if you're asking should it be heavy, I would say you don't want it to be heavy where it's heavy on carbs. You want it to be more heavy on protein, and it can be a big meal. It doesn't have to just be something small, but again, if you want to just have a few eggs, or not a few eggs, but like an egg or a couple hard-boiled eggs and maybe some slices of cucumber, and if that's all you want to eat, then that's fine. You're still having something and you're getting some good protein in. But in terms of heavy breakfast, if you're having like a big stack of pancakes, then that's probably not the greatest thing, right? Because it's a lot of flour, sugar, not the most nutritious thing. So I would say having a heavy breakfast depends on yourself, like how you feel in the morning. Do you like having a bigger breakfast, or would you have a smaller high protein breakfast and then have more to eat at lunch? So let's kind of talk about some suggestions, some ideas. So why don't you all let me know kind of what do you like eating for breakfast? What are some ideas? So you mentioned oatmeal and eggs, so kind of let me know, like, what do you have with your oatmeal and eggs? Yeah, let me know. That way we can kind of help each other out. I find that sometimes it's hard to think about breakfast. I'm going to show you we'll go through some pictures and some of the things that I like eating, and let's see. Okay, so first let's talk about eggs, because that came up. All right. Just getting this picture on for all of you. All right, so okay, so I like eggs, but only once in a while. I don't feel like there's any breakfast I particularly like. Yeah, that's fair. You might have to try to change things up. So let's talk a bit about eggs. So right now, this picture that I'm showing, these are egg bites. So I just wanted to show an example, but in regards to eggs, the reason why I like them and they're kind of popular for breakfast is they're quick to make, like they're pretty easy and quick to make, and they have a good amount of protein and some good healthy fats in it. So for example, these egg bites, you would just make them ahead of time. So they're convenient. You can make them ahead of time and then have them ready to go. So these ones have things like, bell peppers. You can even put spinach, broccoli. You can put bacon. You can put olives. And then you just mix the eggs and put them in muffin tins and bake them in the oven. So that's an option. Another option is making things like an omelet, making scrambled eggs with veggies. I always say when you're making eggs, add some veggies to it. Add some sauteed spinach, add some vegetables to it. A tip that I like doing is cutting my vegetables up beforehand. So I'll either cut them up one morning, like bell peppers and onions, and then I'll use that for a couple of mornings. So that way I have them ready on hand and ready to go. So that's a good tip if you don't have time in the morning. And, it's easy to maybe just fry an egg, but then you might not have time to go and chop up the vegetables. It does take time. So I would say have it kind of chopped up, have it ready to go. And then they stay pretty fresh for a couple of days. So you could use it for 2 or 3 days. So that's a tip with eggs. You can also do it in omelet style. So that's another way, just having, again, sauteed veggies in omelet style. So that's a good one. So eggs are really good, complete protein and a good source of protein for breakfast. You could add some whole grain bread with it. You can add some fruit. Some people are saying like over easy egg with avocado and banana, so that's nice. So you can have some avocado, some healthy fats, and banana for some fruit. I would say try to add some of these veggies if you can. Veggies are great if you can just, even if, another thing I like doing is having just some like even raw arugula or raw spinach on the side with it. That's another good way of getting some greens in the morning. Okay, so that's eggs. Let's go into another one. This next one I want to talk about, I think it's better for summer because it gets cold in the winter and you might not want to have something like this, but I like this because it's a nice vehicle for getting lots of things in. This is a smoothie, so let me just show you a picture of one. These pictures are so big. Oops. Okay. Okay, so the next is a smoothie. So smoothie, the reason why I like smoothie is it's a great vehicle for getting in many different things, like I was saying. So I would always suggest adding in some source of protein. So you could do a protein powder, whether that be a whey-based protein, plant-based protein, or if you don't like using protein powder, some other things I suggest is like having hemp hearts. So hemp hearts are those like shelled hemp seeds. Hemp hearts, flax seeds, chia seeds, or even collagen powder. That's another great source of getting some protein in. So you want to kind of think of like what's your protein base going to be. It's either going to be some protein powder or some like hemp seeds are pretty good. And then you think of your liquid base. You can use a coconut water. You can use regular water. You can use a nut-based milk. That's kind of like a nice liquid base. And then you want to just do add-ins. You can add in so many things. You can add in, spinach. You can add in different sort of like almond butter, peanut butter, sunflower seed butter, add in fruits. You can add in berries, mangoes, bananas, so many different things that you can add in and be creative with your smoothies. It is a nice way of getting a lot of things in. It's quick because everything goes in the blender. You could even do freezer bags before, so like you put everything in a bag and store it in the freezer, everything that you want, and then you just blend it in the morning. So that's another great way of doing that. Just don't put the liquid in the freezer, all of the other things. And then that's a quick and easy one. So smoothies are great. So let me know, does anybody like smoothies? Some people say they don't feel full enough off of smoothies. So you could do a smoothie and then maybe you could do something on the side like some avocado or some whole grain bread with avocado, something like that. You could do on the side. This way you're getting a good source of protein and vegetables in. Okay, so I love omelet with mushrooms, peppers, and spinach. Nice. So that's a great thing. So what I would say for that is just ahead of time, maybe chop up your mushrooms and peppers. Spinach, you don't really, I guess you could chop up the spinach too if you want. And that way it's ready to kind of go and you can have it. Okay, so some people are talking about oatmeal. So let's talk a little bit about oatmeal and how you can level up your oatmeal and how it can be a bit better. So I like oatmeal. It's nice for like a nice warming breakfast, but you just want to make sure you're adding some good things in it. because if a lot of times if you're just buying like the packaged ones, they can be pretty sweet. They have a lot of sugar in them. So let's talk about how you can improve your oatmeal. But oatmeal is a good one, and it's pretty quick to make too. All right, so this is a nice picture of oatmeal. This oatmeal like has many extra things added on top, kiwis, fruits and stuff. But what I would say for your oatmeal is kind of like we were talking about with the smoothie. You want to add a protein source in it because oats have some protein in it, but mostly they're carbohydrates, they're fiber, which is good, but you want to add a protein source in it. So an easy way of doing this is you can add some protein powder in it. Again, something like a whey-based protein or a plant-based protein, whatever you like, adding that in. Or you can add even, again, the hemp seeds and the flax seeds, those have some protein in it. So you want to make sure you're not just having the oatmeal on its own. Adding a protein source in it will be very helpful. Protein is important because it helps prevent spikes in blood sugar. So I've been talking about it a lot. So it helps prevent spikes in blood sugar. It helps to kind of like provide your body with more nutrition, improves muscle mass. It helps with just preventing any sort of like dips also in hunger. So it helps to keep you fuller longer when you're having protein with your food. So protein is very important. So that's what I would say. I would say adding into your oatmeal can very help improve it, and adding other things like you can add almond butter on top. Same thing with the smoothies. I would say you can add on top of the oatmeal. But yeah, let's see what questions. So I like a smoothie after workout. Nice, that's good. What can I use instead of brown sugar? So instead of brown sugar, you could use honey. Honey is like, it's still sugar, but it's more of a natural way of getting it. Sometimes I also like doing banana instead of brown sugar. So like if I cook my oats on the stovetop and then either mash up a banana or chop up a banana really small and mix it in there, that's a nice way of getting some natural sugars in there. So that's a good way of having some sweetness in your oatmeals from the fruit. So like something like banana would be good, or something like honey. Or if you're getting a protein powder, you might get like a vanilla flavored one, so they might have a little bit of stevia or something in that, so then that will give you some sweetness in your oatmeal. Cool. I'm wondering what protein I could add. Yeah, so I would say like a good whey base, like 100% whey-based protein, if you don't have any issues with dairy. And sometimes even if you do, like, whey doesn't really bother people. So I would say a whey protein is a good way of getting in some protein and a good source of it. The plant-based proteins are okay too, just sometimes I find they don't mix as nice in oatmeal as like a whey does. So I would say getting a good whey-based protein. With protein, you don't want to like, with most foods, like you don't want to like get the cheapest thing. Like get a good, sometimes like the New Zealand proteins are pretty good. Those ones have better, higher standards. So something like that. Don't get something that has like all these like, what is it, like birthday cake, cookies and cream flavors. Like I would say just stick to a basic one. Even like usually a plain vanilla or chocolate. Look at the ingredients. Make sure there's not too many added things. If you could just get like protein and vanilla flavor, or chocolate cocoa powder, or vanilla bean powder, and then probably will have some sort of stevia or something in it, that would be like a good source of protein to get in. So I would say you could use, and it's versatile. You can use it for your your smoothie or your oatmeal. On the topic of oatmeal, I wanted to kind of jump into talking about yogurt, because it's very similar. So something like Greek yogurt or a skyr yogurt, or if you don't have dairy, you can have a coconut-based yogurt. These are also good sources of protein, and then you use that as a vehicle and add things on top. Like you can add on the berries, like we were talking about, add on some nuts and seeds. So like on top of yogurt is a great way of adding things like almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, all of those. You can do your own, make your own granola. You can try to buy one that's like lower in sugar. So that's another good way of having a good breakfast. And with this, is it also is very quick. So I think that's a good one too. Have something convenient. Okay, so we talked about eggs, we talked about smoothie, we talked about oatmeal, yogurt. Another option is if you don't have eggs, or even if you do eat eggs but you want a vegetarian option, or I guess a vegan option, is having something like tofu. You can crumble up tofu and you can mix it with sauteed vegetables and put some seasoning and stuff in it, and that makes it like kind of taste like pretty flavorful and stuff. So that's a good option. And soy, which is tofu, it's high in protein, so it's a good option. Okay, so let's see what else we can jump into next. What did I want to show? I think I have one more thing I wanted to show. Actually, no, I had a couple that I want to show. Talked about eggs. Okay, let's kind of talk about one of my favorite things to eat, which is avocado, and how you can improve your avocado toast. So I'm going to show a picture. This picture actually shows some pretty nice things. Okay. All right. So this is avocado toast. So how can you improve your avocado toast? Because avocado is good, is a good source of healthy fats. It's got a little bit of protein if you have it with some nice whole grain bread, but you want to have some protein in there. So you can add an egg on it like we were talking about. On this one you can see there's some, it looks like feta cheese to me. So feta cheese has protein in it as well, so that's another way of adding it in. You could add hummus, so you could do hummus and avocado toast. That gets in some protein too there. And then adding things on top, like sprinkling on some hemp hearts, adding on some sesame seeds. That's another way of improving your avocado toast. So I'd say avocado and egg is a nice combination on toast. That's a good one. Yeah. So avocado. So hi doctor, eggs or oatmeal? Oh, you're asking me. I like both. I like switching it up, and like I was kind of talking about before you joined us, was like with your oatmeal, just making sure you're getting some source of protein in there. So adding in some hemp hearts, adding in some protein powder is a good way of getting it in. And then eggs, I like having eggs too. I find that they're nice and like light and easy to eat any time of year. The occasional waffle with ice cream wouldn't. Yeah, you know, you gotta enjoy things too. So waffle with ice cream, maybe that's more of a once a month kind of thing, once a year. But yeah, interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe you're talking about the protein, I'm not sure. And yes, avocado. So yeah, avocado is a great one. Let's talk about another one that's maybe not too popular, but I actually don't eat this myself, but it is a good option. So let's go show you this one, and then maybe this will be something that, where is it, that you are interested in having. And I don't know where it went. My picture. 1 sec. Yeah. Let me know though anything else before I go on to the last one that I wanted to show. Let me know if there's any other thing that you think, any other tips that you have for your breakfast, anything that you like having. Sometimes I've never tried this, but you could do like you could make egg like breakfast burritos and then freeze them. I've never tried this. Maybe I should try it. and then let you guys know how it is. But I've heard this before, that it's like a quick and easy way to have it, and then you either just like warm it up in the oven or toaster oven or microwave, whatever you eat. I don't know, I've never tried that, but maybe that's something to try. I think that people like having things that are quick and ready to go. Okay, let's do this last one. Here it is. All right. I think I've talked about like coffee before. You don't want to have coffee on an empty stomach. So coffee doesn't count as a breakfast. Make sure you're having some food with that. Okay, so this last one, this is smoked salmon. So I personally don't eat this because I'm not really a huge fan of salmon or fish, but if you like salmon, then I would suggest get some smoked salmon. This like one here, this shows having either on like a, maybe you have it on like a whole grain bagel or whole grain bread or some gluten-free bread, if you'd like that as well. And the smoked salmon serves as a good source of healthy fat and a good protein. So you can have it with some like hummus, some avocado, adding some, like in the picture here, they have some red onions, some parsley or other herbs on top, dill. This would be a great way of getting in some good healthy fats and protein. So that's another one. Maybe that's something that you've never thought of having, but you're interested in trying it out. So that would be a good thing. You can just go and buy the smoked salmon and make something with it. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Breakfast is very important, like we were saying. It's really good for preventing overeating later in the day. It helps nourish your body, gives you energy. It kind of just like sets the tone for your gut health for the day. So it's really important, I would say. Some of the things, like if just anything, like just having something that's high in protein. So we went through some options today. I think the biggest thing I learned is preparing them beforehand. Yes, exactly. I think a lot of times we don't know what to eat in the morning, or we're rushing around getting ready for work. So making something beforehand, if that's cutting up your vegetables so you can have them with eggs, if that is even like preparing like the nuts and seeds in a bag that you want to throw on top of your oatmeal or your yogurt, or even preparing a smoothie bag. Whatever it be, having something ready to go can be helpful. You don't have to have the whole meal ready to go, but just having something. Okay. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you found this helpful and found it helpful for making some breakfast ideas. I'll just leave it open for another minute. If anybody has any other questions, please just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. But if not, we can wrap things up and then we can chat again in the new year. So let me know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about, if you have any other questions. Egg McMuffin. So how can you like improve your egg McMuffin if you wanted to buy one, if you wanted to make one? So the egg is good, but the muffin, the English muffin, it's white bread. So maybe you can use the egg, and then at home you can get some nice like whole grain bread. Like, and by whole grain I don't just mean like whole wheat. I want like the one that's grainy, the one that has like seeds in it, or a gluten-free bread. Putting those together. What can you put on it? You can put some spinach on it. You can put some lettuce and tomatoes, so you're getting more vegetables with it. You want some more fiber with it. So that would be a good option. The McGriddle, I would just say, I don't think you can improve that one too much. Again, same thing. You want, like, the eggs part are good, but the other stuff isn't probably the greatest. For cereal, instead of having, having cereals, if you look at the cereal, you want to pick ones that are like not as high in sugar, ones that have more fiber. So the ones that are like the more fibrous brand ones are better. And then to improve that, you can have it with something like Greek yogurt, so you're getting more protein with it. You can put your own berries and fruits in it too. If you have to have something like that's quick and easy. So if you have to have cereal because that's all you have, then put it with some Greek yogurt and some berries. That makes it better. Okay. Yes, you're welcome for the tips. I hope you found it helpful. We'll be resuming in January. So the first Friday, I believe, is the, let me see, 7th, I think. January the 7th. We will be resuming then. So I will see you all then. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful happy holidays, and then a happy new year too. And I think that's it for tonight. So thanks all for joining. Thank you for joining me this year and all my live streams. And it means so much to me. So have a great night. Bye.